In addition to big, bold red lips, a clear, flawless, blemish-free, matte complexion was also highly coveted in the 1940s. And most women used Max Factor Pancake makeup as their foundation to achieve this flawless look. Now, Hollywood makeup artist Max Factor was a legend in the industry, and he had been working with film actors and actresses since the 1910s. In fact, he invented the first grease paint foundation specifically for movies, for film. And this foundation looked great, this grease paint, in black and white on film, but it was much too heavy for the everyday average woman to use in natural lighting. So it continued to be something that was strictly used in Hollywood by the different actors and actresses of the time for, work in front of the camera. The majority of just regular women out there used a product known as vanishing cream as kind of their primer, and they would cover their face then with lots of face powder, and this would kind of serve as their foundation. But as we get into the late 1930s, Technicolor and color film started to become a thing. And those grease paint makeups that looked great in black and white didn't really look quite as natural in color. So Max Factor developed the first Pancake foundation, and he called it just that, Pancake makeup, for Technicolor film. And this was very different than those old grease paints. This was actually a water-based foundation. It was actually water activated. You would take a wet sponge and then kind of swirl it around that makeup cake and then, apply it to your face. And this was very, very different than those grease paints because it was not greasy, and it dried down to a perfect matte finish, and it was very, very full coverage. Now, initially, this makeup was only used by Hollywood actresses, but, many of them brought them home. Their friends and family tried it, and soon Max Factor was receiving hundreds of letters from the public asking him, to release a regular line for, just regular everyday women. And so he did just that in 1938. And this product just sold out within hours. Women were lining up, at different drugstores around the country to get their hands on this Pancake makeup. And it really became kind of the number one foundation of the late 30s and throughout the 1940s as well. Now, it did have some drawbacks. This makeup did tend to oxidize and get darker and sometimes more orange, the longer it was worn as the day went on. But it still remained pretty popular into the 1950s. Now, as we moved into the 60s, lighter weight liquid formulas and more sheer foundations and more natural looking foundations became more popular. But Pancake makeup continued to be made. As I actually recently learned, this product was available as late as 2010. So clearly somebody was still buying it. Have you ever tried Max Factor Pancake makeup? Let me know.